Hello and welcome to a Smaulgld special silver report. 3 large silver stockpiles. Today we're going to go through some charts and take a look at where there are 3 large silver stockpiles in the world. First of all, central banks don't hold silver, but there are still some large stockpiles of silver in the world. These 3 stockpiles that we're going to take a look at hold about a year's worth of silver mining production. Let's take a look at the charts. There is your invitation to donate during Smaulgld Appreciation Week via Bitcoin, via PayPal, or to become a Patreon. Remember, this week we are producing additional videos in celebration of Smaulgld Appreciation Week to show our appreciation for our increase in subscribers. We're well over 1,700 now, so thought I'd put out some additional videos and some chart treats for you. So let's take a look. Okay, so silver ETFs hold about 575 million ounces of silver. That's a substantial amount. And this big green line chart here, or area, represents SLV, which is the largest silver ETF. And it holds, as of, I just checked on their website, 319,426 ounces of silver. So 331 million ounces in that one ETF alone. That's what they say they have, but that is what is listed in these other ETFs. You add them up and you get up to about 575 million ounces. Supposedly they reached a peak over about 625 million ounces towards the end of last year, sometimes towards the middle fall period. Now, if you want to get silver yourself, please consider doing so through the Smaulgld site. You can make your purchases through SD Bullion. There's a link there. There's a link below this YouTube. Also BGSC, Golden Eagle Coins, JM Bullion, Money Metals Exchange. Smaulgld gets a small commission, so if you're considering buying silver or gold or adding to your stack, please consider doing so. Compare pricing and shipping at the links below, and Smaulgld makes a small commission. Now, the next place there is a large amount of silver is at the COMEX warehouses, where all that silver gets traded. Now, there are supposedly about 200 million ounces in COMEX warehouses, and not all of it is eligible to sell. Eligible means it's in the proper size bars. They meet the requirements of COMEX for fineness, and if people do want to take delivery, that is the silver they take. They don't get silver eagles. They get these large 1,000-ounce bars. And the silver that's in the COMEX approved warehouses amounts to about 200 million ounces of silver. And then that's eligible silver is 164 million. And then registered means that it's ready to go, ready to sell. Eligible means it just needs to be registered. But there's 200 million ounces approximately of silver in COMEX warehouses, of which about 15% of it is registered for sale. The rest of it's just sitting there waiting for the appropriate moment to sell. Here is a longer term chart of silver held in the COMEX vault. You can see it's been increasing over recent years. There's a lot of people saying there's no silver in the COMEX, not based on not believing the numbers, but they used to say that the numbers were declining. They really weren't. What was declining was the registered silver. Couple of years ago. Right here you can see here there's a very small narrow band, but that's not that concerning, provided there's enough eligible silver. There wasn't much registered, but there was a decent amount of registered silver, and if the price rose or there was a spur in people interested in taking delivery, there seemed to be enough silver to take based on what was the total amounts in the vaults based on the eligible amounts. Now, what's interesting is, of that 200 million ounces that's in the COMEX vaults, our friends at JP Morgan own more than half of it. Well, let's step back. They don't own it. It's listed as being in their warehouse. We do not know who the title resides with in the silver that's in the JP Morgan warehouse. Maybe all of it, maybe some of it, maybe none of it is actually for JP Morgan. It could be in there being held on behalf of clients. We don't know who those clients are. They could be foreign, they could be domestic, we don't know. One thing that I've noticed that no one else has pointed out is very little of the JP Morgan silver is registered to sell. And that registered number, just the 5 million of their 107 million ounces, has not changed at all. So as they've been adding, you can see here, basically over the last year, they've added about 50 million ounces in just a year. The registered silver has stayed at 5.1 million. So it looks like who's ever adding, and whether it's JP Morgan or a third party or a combination of third parties, is not intending, at least right now, to indicate that they're going to sell it because they have not registered. Now, it's no big deal to register because eligible stocks, it's nothing they have to do to it. The reason it's considered eligible is it meets the COMEX trading requirements. You cannot register, you can't even make eligible Silver Eagles or Silver Maple Leafs. That's why this whole JP Morgan has 500 million ounces of Silver Eagles and Silver Maples is kind of ridiculous, because JP Morgan is not going to go out and buy that many. Where are they going to store them? There's a massive premium on them. These bars in the COMEX, they trade at spot. There's no premium. The American Silver Eagles to authorized purchasers cost another $2 per coin, which means $2 per ounce, which could be a 25% premium when the price is under $20. No, 10% premium. When the price, it could be about a 12% premium when the price is under $20. I don't know who in the right mind would pay that kind of premium if they're going to buy 500 million ounces of silver. They'd be more likely to buy 500 million ounces at spot in COMEX 1,000 ounce good delivery bars than they would be to try to accumulate these individual Maple Leafs and Silver Eagles. But in any event, we have 575 million ounces in silver ETFs. We've got about 200 million ounces in the COMEX vaults, and our friends over at the Shanghai Gold Exchange, aptly titled Shanghai Gold Exchange, but they now also, because they trade silver and they trade gold, they actually have more gold in their vaults than the COMEX does. And silver, as you can see here, they've developed a very healthy amount to trade around with. They've got about 43 million ounces of silver. So you take your silver ETFs of 575 million ounces, your COMEX warehouse of about 197 million ounces, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange is 44 million ounces, and you get about 815 million ounces. And for those of you who follow the Silver Institute and others who track the annual silver mining production, average silver mining production for the past 3-4 years has been about 820, 870 million ounces. So there are these three large stockpiles that have a decent amount of silver, and that's about it for today. Tomorrow we are going to hit the Perth Mint sale, some very interesting developments at the Perth Mint. We're going to do the American Gold Buffalo, and as part of Smaulgld Appreciation Week, we've got a few extra surprises on silver. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to this channel and follow us on Twitter.